What we have here in this video is the installation of wainscoting. Wainscoting is, a form of paneling that you will do on the lower part of a house, of a wall, I'm sorry. In this case, we're gonna work with about 6 different elements. The idea with all this is that we want to just kind of add some sort of traditional look to this bathroom that I'm building. Here's some of the looks of the bathroom. So I'm getting to almost to the point that we need to finish up with a nice wainscoting. So the elements that we're going to use, I want to be as simple as I can. Now, but we're going to use about 6 different type of elements or pieces or wooden pieces or whatever you want to call it. And the idea with that is that you want to add some depth and some detail to the paneling, to the walls. In some cases, the outlets are going to be inside the paneling. In some other cases, it's going to be above the sink. This is because of different purposes for the walls in this case. So we're going to start by doing that. Normally what I do is that I actually do some preparation to the wood. In this case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint them. I'm going to put some at least some primer on them before I do it, so maybe a little more practical when you're finishing it. You just want to make touch-ups instead of taking a longer time on the walls, dripping paint and stuff like that. So I'm going to continue with that. It will be covered here as well, there, and in this section as well. So it'll be an interesting video. So what we have here is one of the dowels. This one is called 1/4 inch round over. This is for the router. The router is here, and what we're gonna do with the router is that we're gonna take this 1x4, which is like 3/4 by 3.5, and we're gonna work in both edges, and then I'm gonna trim it in the middle with a table saw. So I have 2 pieces. The idea with this is that sometimes you can buy the top cap, or however you want to call it, but they're not as either they're like too big, or they're made out of other materials that are not as strong, or maybe you simply can't find it. But the idea with this is that we're gonna work in both edges, and then we're gonna pass it through a table saw and cut the pieces that we want. I'll show you in a moment. So protect your eyes and your respiratory cavities so you don't get sick while we're working with this. Now you can see here 4 of the pieces. I'm not including the paneling that goes right underneath this one, but you have the upper part, this little decoration in the middle. I'll show you in a second. Okay, this will go there. Then we have our 1x4. Then we have this little trim piece that will go on top of the panel. Okay. What else can I say about it? The only difference is that on the bottom we're gonna have a bigger, wider plank. So I'll show you. It will be, instead of like a 1x4, it will be a 1x6 on the floor. And what we're doing right now is we're priming everything before we work with them, so it's a little more easy at the end to kind of do the final touches. So I'm gonna prime the other ones that we have and move on. The good thing about doing some priming, and we actually took the decision of putting the final paint over, is that you save a lot of time. And now, because we are entering into winter, we want to make sure that whenever you paint, you have the temperature above 50 degrees. In this case, obviously, it's about 70 plus over here inside the house. So we'd rather do some painting over here before start installing them. The same thing is going to happen with the ones that we just made the edge with the router. So let's continue with the more painting, and then we're going to start cutting all the wood that we need. Before I continue with the installation of the paneling, I want to show you how far we have been. So we got in this corner, this outer corner, obviously in the beginning, find the studs, right? So I have a stud finder over here. suggest you to do it in whatever way you can. Very important when you're installing, especially those boards, to find the beams. So go ahead and put the stuff. That edge over there is for the other pieces that we spoke about a moment ago. And here, if you notice, we have a 45-degree cut, 45-degree cut, and we have a 45-degree cut over here and a 45-degree cut over there internally. So you may see the idea is for us to have the panels in the middle that will look equidistant. I mean, as far as the boards, because one board, if one is superposed on top of the other, will look kind of funny. So that's why we want to make sure that they look symmetric. So now we're going to continue with the with the installation of that and the installation of the panel on the top. I mean, of the little moldings on top. So let me show you in a moment how it. Okay, so the frames are made, and now we have to install the panel in the inside. So these are the panels. You can find the panels, according to what you want. It's like a wainscoting panel that you got by 4x8 sheets. So there, the squares are not rectangular because, especially in those corners, there are some sort of inclinations towards the inside. So the idea with that is that you want to cut those squares or those panels really, really well. Meaning, like, you want to follow the angles of the stuff. I use a table saw with a helper, and then you can do the same thing over there and move the outlet a little bit so we have a space for the molding. But anyway, you want to go ahead and install that, and for that we have this premium molding, adhesive. They suggest other ones, but this is pretty good. You can use any type of liquid nail you want or construction adhesive. So let's continue. What you see now is the installation of the internal molding. That molding is to, obviously hide the little imperfections in the cutouts. Besides that, to secure that, beside the glue that we put on the bottom, secure the panels around the perimeter. I'm using 2-inch nails still. And I took out the toilet tank in this case. They needed a toilet to work. So normally I will finish, then I put the toilet, but in this case I just took out that toilet tank. When I made the plumbing, I made it so it was enough for the toilet to be, the tank to be right against it. But I'm gonna paint that little section. Anyway, so what I normally do is that I make the sketches of all the panels, and I make all the measurements, and then I go and cut them out. And I just, kind of cut by 4 pieces, and I put them wherever they go, so I don't need to go back and forth doing a whole bunch of measurements. So the holes are going to be, the little, corners are going to be sealed with caulk, and the other one is going to be, painter's putty or any other vinyl spackling that will make it, nice and smooth after we finish with everything. So let's continue. You can see that many of the panels are already installed and they have the molding around. I made a little correction on that molding there. It was too long. You see the corners and all the stuff in the smaller areas like this one, it would be a redundancy to put, another molding on it. So you want to leave some sort of detail on it. And here as well, and then here between these two moldings. So it's perfect because the moldings are helping to make the frame. I made the cutouts with an oscillating saw. It's a little saw that kind of, vibrates, oscillates in like few degrees. And those outlets over there were installed horizontally instead of vertically, so you can have a better cover on them and they look a little more appropriate. But now what I'm gonna do, if you notice here is a little tip that I have. I make all these numbers and all the stuff, and I take them with me. So I don't need to go back and forth, from the machines. That will save you a ton of time. I'm gonna do the 2 moldings that go in on top, which are like these little ones. Will go here, and then the one on top of it. Anyway, so I'm gonna make those cutouts, and I'll show you in a moment. Let's see. Let me get some focus over here. Okay, there you go. So now you see all the pieces put together. Um, what else can I say? Now we're just covering the holes, the nail holes with some vinyl spackling. We use some caulk for the top and some of the seams, the corners and stuff. The project has a lot of tedious cuts. I will suggest you to make sure to have those cuts nice and tight, so you don't have to fill a lot of holes. And I normally work with 16ths of an inch, to make sure that you get to the closest measurement possible. If you're not that used to cutting like precisely or something like that, I just need to tell you that if you're able to cut exactly 16 inches, you can cut 15 and 15/16 exactly as well. I mean, it's nothing different. Just kind of get some practice and that's it. What else can I say? Well, we're gonna, we had the primer and also had the semi-gloss paint, really high quality semi-gloss paint. Obviously, we need to, at this point, we need to do a little bit more of primer and painting, but it's good to have already some base coat on the walls. This is one of the samples that you can do. I mean, one of the styles. I mean, pretty sure that there's plenty of them. This one looks really decorating, so decorative. Just be patient because there's a lot of many little cuts to be able to get to this point, but it's beautiful anyway. So if you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. If you are, thank you as always. I have, as you've probably seen, hundreds of videos showing some of the talent that I have and other people have as well. So I'll see you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching, and just good luck with your jobs. Bye bye.